Have you ever wanted to escape from everything? No traffic, no crowds, no constant noise. Just peace and quiet in a place far away from the rest of the world. Well, some people don't just visit these places. They live there every single day. From tiny islands in the middle of the ocean to mountain villages so high up that even the air feels thinner, these are some of the most remote places on Earth. And getting to them? Well, that's an adventure in itself. We're talking about long flights, bumpy roads, and even boat trips across rough waters. But for the people who call these places home, this isolation isn't a challenge. It's a way of life. So, if you're fascinated by extreme locations or just want to see what life is like far from civilization, stick around as we explore 14 of the most isolated places on Earth. Let's begin. Tristan da Cunha, South Atlantic Ocean. The world's most remote inhabited island, Tristan da Cunha lies over 1,700 miles from Cape Town, South Africa. Covering just 38 square miles, its main settlement, Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, has a population of 238. As a British overseas territory, all residents are British citizens, and land is communally owned, barring outsiders from purchasing property. The economy relies on fishing, small-scale farming, stamp sales, and limited tourism. With no airport, reaching the island requires a 6-day boat journey from South Africa, with only a few fishing boats visiting each year. The Pitcairn Islands, a British overseas territory in the South Pacific. The Pitcairn Islands consist of 4 volcanic islands, but only Pitcairn Island is inhabited. With around 50 residents, mostly descendants of HMS Bounty mutineers, life here is extremely isolated. The 2004 child abuse scandal significantly reduced the population, prompting the government to offer free land to attract newcomers. However, with no airport and only occasional freighter visits from New Zealand, access is difficult. Though a British territory, legal matters are handled by a court 3,300 miles away in New Zealand. For those seeking true seclusion, Pitcairn remains one of the most remote places on Earth. Easter Island. Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, is one of the most mysterious and isolated places on Earth. Located in the southeastern Pacific Ocean, it's about 2,300 miles from Chile's coast and over 1,200 miles from the nearest inhabited island. Despite its remote location, the island is famous for its nearly 1,000 massive stone statues, called moai, which have fascinated explorers, historians, and archaeologists for centuries. These towering figures, carved from volcanic rock, were created by the Rapa Nui people between the 13th and 16th centuries. Some stand over 30 feet tall and weigh more than 80 tons. Theories suggest they were built to honor ancestors or important leaders, but their exact purpose remains debated. Even more puzzling is how the islanders transported these massive statues across the island without modern technology. Some believe they were rolled on logs, while others suggest they were walked upright using ropes. Easter Island's history is also marked by tragedy. At its peak, the Rapa Nui civilization may have had a population of 15,000, but by the 18th century, the island was in decline. Deforestation, resource depletion, and possibly internal conflicts led to food shortages and societal collapse. European contact in the 1700s brought disease and slave raids, further devastating the population. Devon Island. Devon Island, or Talarutit in Inuktitut, is the world's largest permanently uninhabited island. Located in Canada's Nunavut territory, its barren, frozen landscape is so extreme that NASA has used it for over 20 years to simulate Mars-like conditions. At its center lies the 12.5-mile-wide Houghton Impact Crater, where scientists test spacesuits, drills, and robotic rovers for future space missions. Though not the most remote place on Earth, its nearest inhabited neighbor, Cornwallis Island, is 50 miles away with just 200 residents. Devon Island remains the closest thing to Mars without leaving Earth. The Kerguelen Islands. The Kerguelen Islands, or the Desolation Islands, are among the most remote places on Earth. This French territory, located in the southern Indian Ocean, is over 2,000 miles from the nearest civilization. The largest island, Grande Terre, is about the size of Delaware, but it has no permanent residents. Instead, around 50 to 100 scientists and researchers live in Port-au-Français, studying the island's glaciated terrain and harsh climate. With no airport, the only way to reach Kerguelen is by ship, a journey that occurs just 4 times a year. Itakortormit, Greenland. One of the most isolated communities on Earth, Itakortormit sits between Greenland's vast national park and the icy waters of Scoresby Sound. Around 450 people call this remote Arctic outpost home, enduring 9 months of ice-locked conditions each year. Despite the harsh environment, the town's brightly colored houses create a striking contrast against the frozen wilderness, and even here, a local pub opens once a week. Reaching Itakortormit requires a helicopter ride from the nearest airport or a rare summer boat trip, but those who make the journey are rewarded with breathtaking wildlife encounters, from polar bears to muskoxen. Oymyakon. The coldest inhabited place on Earth, Oymyakon in Russia is where 500 residents endure brutal winters near the Arctic Circle. In 1933, temperatures hit a record-breaking -90 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunlight is scarce in winter, with up to 21 hours of darkness. Travel is difficult. Planes can't land, and the nearest city is a grueling 2-day drive away. Despite the extreme cold, life persists. Locals survive on a diet of reindeer meat and horse milk, children attend school, and businesses operate, proving that even in the harshest conditions, people adapt and thrive. The Changtang, Tibet. The Changtang, on the Tibetan plateau, sits nearly 3 miles above sea level, earning its nickname, the Roof of the World. Winters are Arctic-like, and short summers bring sudden storms. Despite the harsh climate, the region is rich in wildlife, including snow leopards, wild yaks, black-necked cranes, and the rare Chiru antelope. A few 100,000 nomads, the Changpa, have lived here for centuries, herding livestock across the vast landscape. Much of the area is now protected within the Changtang Nature Reserve, ensuring this remote wilderness and its inhabitants continue to thrive. Amundsen Scott South Pole Station, Antarctica. The Amundsen Scott South Pole Station, 9,000 feet above sea level, experiences just one sunrise and sunset each year. With temperatures dropping to -90 degrees Celsius, it's one of the coldest places on Earth. Since 1956, rotating teams of 50 to 200 scientists have lived here, studying climate change and astrophysics in the clear Antarctic air. Supplies arrive annually, and winter brings 6 months of total darkness, leaving residents completely isolated. Despite the extreme conditions, this station stands as a testament to scientific exploration in one of the most unforgiving environments on the planet. Villa Las Estrellas, Antarctica. On King George Island, Villa Las Estrellas is one of Antarctica's few year-round settlements. Established by Chile in 1984, it's home to fewer than 200 people, mainly scientists and military personnel. The village has houses, a school, a bank, and even a post office, but its isolation requires residents to have their appendixes removed before arrival, as the nearest hospital is 600 miles away. Despite harsh conditions, it offers a gym, a hostel, and a souvenir shop, though dogs are banned to protect wildlife. This tiny outpost provides a rare glimpse into civilian life in one of the world's most remote places, Palmerston Island, Pacific Ocean. A remote atoll in the Cook Islands, Palmerston Island is a tiny landmass within 1,000 square miles of ocean territory. Its highest point is just 13 feet above sea level, making it vulnerable to rising waters. With no airport and only a few ship visits per year, it remains one of the most isolated inhabited places on Earth. Around 50 residents, all descendants of an English settler, rely on fishing, coconut farming, and occasional supply deliveries. Life here is simple, with few modern conveniences, where the vast ocean serves as both a lifeline and a barrier. Adak, Alaska. One of the most remote communities in the United States, Adak is located 1,200 miles from Anchorage in the Aleutian Islands. It's the westernmost city in the US and the southernmost community in Alaska. Once a Cold War military hub with 6,000 residents, Adak's population shrank to just 171 after the naval base closed in the 1990s. Today, the island offers rugged adventures like birdwatching, caribou hunting, and salmon fishing. Its windswept, post-apocalyptic landscape, shaped by abandoned military structures and a harsh, subpolar climate, makes it a unique destination for those seeking solitude and history. Longyearbyen, Norway. The northernmost settlement in the world, Longyearbyen is located on Spitsbergen Island in the Svalbard archipelago. Despite its extreme location, roughly 650 miles from the North Pole, it is surprisingly accessible via Svalbard Airport, with regular flights from Oslo. The town is home to about 2,400 residents from 53 different countries, making it one of the most diverse yet remote communities on Earth. Life in Longyearbyen comes with some unusual rules. Due to the permafrost preserving bodies indefinitely, burials are not allowed, and terminally ill individuals are transported to Oslo. Residents and visitors must also carry firearms outside the city limits to protect against the region's significant polar bear population. Houses are built on stilts to prevent sinking as the permafrost melts in summer. Despite these challenges, the town has modern amenities, including a grocery store, a university, and a thriving research community, making it a unique outpost at the edge of the Arctic. La Rinconada, Peru. Perched at over 3 miles above sea level, La Rinconada is the world's highest permanent settlement. Nestled beneath a massive glacier in the Peruvian Andes, reaching this town requires a grueling 4-hour drive from Puno along steep, winding mountain roads. Despite its extreme altitude and harsh conditions, around 50,000 people call La Rinconada home. Life here is tough. The town lacks running water and a sewage system, forcing residents to endure harsh living conditions. Electricity only arrived in 2002, and heating is a luxury few can afford, despite year-round temperatures averaging just 34 degrees Fahrenheit. The economy revolves around unregulated gold mining, attracting thousands hoping to strike it rich. However, environmental degradation and poor sanitation have led to widespread pollution, with garbage frozen along roadsides and sewage running through the streets. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comments section.